Hello, my friends. It's been a while since I've come on here to share. I've been really involved in my Lightwalker program and in these new evolving ways of working with the crystals that have just really been overhauling my practices and what I'm sharing. And so I'm coming on here today to share with you just an example of some of this work, some of the I'll say new teachings. They're new teachings for me anyway, new teachings, new methods of working with the stones that are much more 5D and mystical in its nature. You know, there's been a lot of sharing about crystal properties and ways to lay them on the body to affect healing and meditation and different forms. But what they've really been teaching me and guiding me through in the past couple of years has been the power of channeling through them, and not just the channelings that I've shared here before, um, but channeling levels of spirit guides, spirit consciousness, as well as journeying through portals or gateways into consciousness that crystals open, rather like how medicine people and shamanic practitioners journey, through trance into other worlds and other realms. Crystals also open us to those levels of extra dimensional, if you will, experiences. And one such crystal that I'm sharing with you today is black obsidian. And black obsidian opens us into the hidden realms of the earth. It also opens up channels to a very specific group of spirit guides, as well as many other things. And this can all sound, very mystical and very mystic jelly and very woo woo. But eventually the question becomes, how does this benefit us? How does this help us both individually, but also collectively heal and grow and evolve into a higher state of being? And one of the things that I experienced through Black Obsidian just recently was its deep power for shadow healing. And we are familiar, certainly those of us who have studied a bit about Black Obsidian, have worked with Black Obsidian, we're familiar with its ability to evoke and bring levels of our shadow selves up to our state of consciousness, up to our conscious awareness, so that we can begin to perceive them and work through them. And for those of you who are new to the concept of shadow self healing, our shadow self is sort of, kind of encapsulates, envelops, embodies our darker and more hidden aspects of ourselves and of our experiences. So our fears, our shames, our resistances, the truths that we actively seek to deny. All of this is down in it gets buried down inside our psyche, inside our subconscious, and the way that we kind of refer to it collectively is as our shadow self. So it helps to bring that to the surface of our awareness, as I said, so that we can face it, so that we can accept it, so that we can begin to work through these different aspects which have been caused by, wounding in childhood trauma, painful or scary or shameful experiences. And depending on your system of belief, not just from this lifetime, but also potentially from past lifetimes. So where we can deepen into the mystical or 5D workings, if you will, with Black Obsidian is to evolve past just receiving its energy and the reaction it provokes in our system, and beginning to deepen into working with its spirit, working with its consciousness, and the higher spirits that it can connect us to for healing, for guidance, where it opens up those channels of communication. but also into the hidden realms of the earth. And the hidden realms of the earth, there's a whole memory matrix that exists in the center of the earth. There's a whole crystalline collective community that exists in the earth. There are also crystals just right down at the core of the earth, which is something that is believed as well by geologists, that are beyond ancient, that have existed since perhaps even before time. Um, and as we journey down into this energy matrix into the earth, one of the things that we can connect with, and begin to reconnect with, are all the paths we've walked before. So all the lives we've lived on this earth, and our life paths that we've walked, what we've experienced, the memories, not just in terms of, the bad things that have happened in those lives, that can be contributing to our psyche now, but also the good things, the teachings, the skills that we had. That level of memory we can also connect with down in the earth. So black obsidian helps draw us down, opens up gateways to these hidden realms where we can connect with not just the paths we've walked before, but also with our shadows, because our shadows, while they're imprinted in our psyche, our subconscious, right down into our DNA, they're also imprinted into this earth matrix. And what the black obsidian also does is it opens up channels of communications to what I call the dark goddesses. So the aged and ancient goddesses who have faced the darkness, who have faced the shadow, who have come out the other side and are extremely powerful, extremely wise, and can help guide us with their healing wisdom through facing and healing our own shadows. So I'm talking, depending on the culture and your system of belief, but the Kaliak from Celtic culture, or Hecate, or the crone, as she manifests in different cultures and systems of belief. So with black obsidian, when we learn how to connect to its spirit and consciousness, when we learn how to open up these channels of communication and then journey through the gateways that it opens through the veils, we can journey down into the hidden realms of the earth. We can invoke or call to us the shadow aspects at this time that we need to heal to move forward. And then from that place, opening up channels of communications to the dark goddess, so that as we're facing and communicating with our shadow, engaging with our shadow, we can then receive healing guidance from the dark goddesses that can help us to heal, reintegrate, reclaim whatever power or magic we need to from that shadow aspect in order to become more whole in our radiance, but also to free us from patterns of behavior, of choice, of thought, of limiting belief that are keeping us tethered to pain, to resentment, to shame, to fear, so that we can start to live more enriched lives going forward. So again, a sample of the work I've been doing with the stones and how it's been evolving, and how, deepening into the spirit, the consciousness, the mysticism of crystals can really have this beautiful healing impact on our lives. And of course, if you'd like to learn more about this work that I'm doing, I'll drop the links down in my description. But a way to begin to open to the spirit and consciousness of your black obsidian crystal is to hold it in your receptive hand, so that's your non-dominant hand, and close your eyes and open yourself to the flow of its energy. Invite in the flow of its energy. Really surrender to that flow, and that can take just a few minutes of stillness and of quiet, and then invite in its spirit, invite in its consciousness, and communicate with it your intention, and then see where it takes you, see where it flows, and pay attention to any messages, any images, any memories, any feelings that come up for you at that time. So I hope that this video was of service to you. Please do subscribe. I will be coming on to share more of this beautiful work with the stones going forward, and sweet blessings to you.